Hey Aries, Aries fam. Happy February. I hope Mars in our sign has been treating you well, but not like fucking too much up. I know it's definitely been rough for impulse control. All right. Let's see. I want to get more cards before I start talking. Sorry if you hear the chainsaw going. They're doing construction next door, so there's like a lot of loud noises. Okay. So just like Leo, I think you guys are in a place now where you are downsizing as well. Prioritizing things emotionally and regaining the balance in your life. Not even regaining, but you are implementing the balance in your life. You have decided what has not worked, and you have decided what you do not want and what you do want and how that's going to happen for you. But the sense of the unknown keeps creeping up on you guys. And Aries does not like not knowing what the next thing is. Because we have to know what the next thing is. Otherwise, how else would we be prepared for it? But life is not meant to be... Ooh, look at that. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Cups. The first card of your reading is also the Eight of Cups. So really closing out some chapters. But not permanently. I think it's more of a... You're going on a quest, and this is leaving home. Gonna re-hold them up. This is leaving home to go on your quest. It's not, you're not losing anything, you're not hurting, you're not hurting anyone else. Well, not necessarily. This is a general reading, keep in mind. So for all you cross watchers, don't be like, Aries is actually hurting people. So, but for the general reading, the Eight of Cups is a rite of passage. Finally moving on to bigger and better things. And when I say that you are leaving home, it could be that you're going to literally leave home, or you guys are moving, or you are mentally, spiritually, emotionally leaving behind a mindset or people who make you feel a certain way. And you're understanding now where it is you really are and where it is you have been and where it is now that you want to go. So in succession, you have the Eight of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Cups. Not only is it downsizing, but it's downsizing in a very efficient manner where it's even and clean from the 8 to the 4 to the 2. So relinquishing anything that doesn't serve you anymore, moving away from things that don't make you feel fulfilled. It doesn't mean you're leaving, again, it doesn't mean that you're leaving forever. It just means that you're leaving home. So you don't necessarily ever really leave home, right? You just physically leave home, but it's always there in your heart. So don't think of the Eight of Cups as leaving something sad behind. Think of it as you moving on to something a bit more organized, something a bit cleaner, something that you can meditate on without all this noise and the chatter, right? So from the 8 to the 4, resting. Now that you have decided to leave, you are now going to meditate on that. Meditate what it is that you really, truly want. What it is that you really want to manifest in your life. And then you can have an equal exchange with the universe, with those around you, your community, your friends. And that's the thing. I think your community is what you are possibly switching around. The 11th house is Aquarius for you guys, where the sun is now and where the new moon is, and Mercury as well. So things that have been on your mind for a while, but now are finally culminating. So the environment that we find ourselves in is indicative of how we operate on our day-to-day. So if the people around you are not being fair or being cold and cutting, or they're just cutting you down, not making you feel good about yourself, you are now understanding what it is that you need to let go of, and you're doing it in a very peaceful way. You're not losing anything. It's just leaving home, right? It's kind of like, thank you for being there. Thank you. For those of you who are on the Marie Kondo thing, thank you for your service. Peace out, right? So justice here, regaining your balance. Regaining your balance. That's been a big theme. The Aries Libra theme has been popping up for me personally a lot, so that's interesting that it came up. Yeah, so in regards to love, I think a lot of you guys are sitting on something you're not quite sure about. Maybe it's something that you feel a lot of passion toward, a person that you feel a lot of passion towards, but emotionally you're just not compatible. But somehow you just are drawn to this person, and that's why you guys are waiting on this connection, because you're not quite sure what to do with it yet. Not only that, but you're also, you weren't really prioritizing love. Aries was kind of on this like independent thing. But, you know, there was a total lunar eclipse in your 5th house of dating and romance. So stay tuned for that one. In regards to work, the 2 of Cups, again, I think it is not just about your job, but the work that you do in the world, in the universe, how you, oh, I didn't have my light on. Sorry. Well, not that that helps now. But, the things that you do in the world, what sights you have set for yourself, and really letting go of this feeling of lack of stability. You guys are over it. You're like, you know what? Instead of being scared of where I could end up, I'm just going to go ahead and fucking do what I need to do to make sure I end up where I need to end up. And I think that confidence in yourself is exactly what's going to bring you halfway to the universe. And you're going to meet the universe halfway, and it's going to offer you something that you are equally invested in. Something that you've been waiting on, and it's going to be all yours. That's the thing that Aries has been waiting on, something that is just all ours, that we can, it's not even about control, but it's just, Aries needs to pour their whole heart into something. So if they're working with teammates, that's not their whole heart, because they're sharing bits and pieces with other people who may or may not be pouring their heart into it. So Aries is all heart. And when we feel like we are not being, when there's no reciprocity, that's when we start getting antsy and anxious, right? But when we have a project that's all our own and that we have complete control over, and that it's something that really, really resonates with us and that other people can sense, that is what we are after. Right? But Taurus, I'm sorry. Uranus is going to move into Taurus at the beginning of March. So for February, I think bottom of the deck, the Hangman in reverse, you guys are still feeling a little stuck. You're just like, man, like Jupiter is in Sag. There was an eclipse in Leo. Mars is in our sign. Why aren't things happening? Because Uranus, it's still here, and it still needs to prepare us for when Chiron goes into our sign. Yes, Chiron. But you guys are good. We're good. Because you know exactly, I mean, you always know exactly where you're going to go. But this month, you have a plan because it's concise and it's organized, right? You just have to be careful not to be reckless with your words. The things that you say to other people, the information that you choose to share, just be careful with that. Because again, it can come back to you. Karma is still, you know, it has everyone's address. So, be careful in the process of leaving home that you don't make anyone feel like you are leaving them. And you're probably just like, what do you mean? How do I leave someone without making them feel like I left them? And this isn't in regards to relationship. I'm talking about, again, 11th house theme. So community, groups of friends, organizations. And it doesn't necessarily mean leaving, but it can also mean transmuting. But for you guys, I think it really is about like physically moving on to a new endeavor, because Aries needs the action, right? We need the physical in order to confirm the ethereal. But it's funny because I don't think Aries realizes that we sometimes operate from the ethereal first, and then we assume that our physical reality is never going to catch up to where we want it to go. But the only reason why we have that desire in the first place is because it already has been there. Follow me? So have faith in the universe. Have faith in yourself. The only thing that you guys really need to do this month is to just be careful with your words and how you control your impulse. So these two, the Knights, just be careful, because cutting words and impulse decisions can be detrimental in February. Mind you, Neptune and Chiron are still in Pisces, so fantasies, illusions, things that aren't clear, just be very, very careful with that. Otherwise, focus on yourself, focus on your work, focus on the friends that you want in your life and the energy that you want to be around, the groups of people that you want to work with. All the new projects are going to come together if you prioritize and just realize that you really do have the world in your hands, Aries. You just gotta make sure you're productive with it. Yeah. But this is good. I see February being a real organizational month for you guys, but just make sure that, your mind is also organized. Yeah. And it's going to be a little difficult because Mercury in Aquarius, along with the new moon, it's not going to be the clearest thing, right? But I think you already know where you're going. The moon is here in the center, so it's just kind of like, you know exactly what it is that you need to do to feel emotionally fulfilled. You just have to practice your coping mechanisms for when it doesn't come right away. All right, Aries. I love you all so much. You're my fam. And I will see you next month. Also, the 2019 readings are going to come out soon. I'm just in the process of moving, so I just need to find time to do them. I want to get the February ones out first. I know I said that last month, but, bear with me. Okay, bye, fam.